Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show and the first round of the CIF Southern Section football playoffs. Yes, we are talking playoffs. Steve and I are rolling on our picks. We were both 5-0 last week. For the second straight week, we're undefeated, but there's some very tough games to pick this week, Steve, as the computer-generated power rankings set up some outstanding matchups. Isn't that correct, Steve?
Yeah, I think they did. There's still some adjusting that needs to be done with this system. Different discussion out there on the socials. Should a league champ automatically get a home game like they used to do? Because there's some league champs that are on the road. But years ago, I remember, there'd be like a really good third place team that has to go on the road against a league champ. And they felt we're better. We should have the home team. We're higher seeded, we're a better team. So, but you can't adjust the system that doesn't exist. So I think the system's okay. There's some little weirdness about it, especially with the forfeits. There's a team that is 1-9 because of forfeits. Should they get in? And that's a complicated thing, but I totally get it. But on the other side, you have 50 football players on a team, and one player is the problem because he's ineligible. He or his parents fibbed on their paperwork. The athletic director, somewhere at admin, the coaches, somebody didn't do their due diligence and check it out. Like Commissioner Mike West of San Jose says, don't be afraid to say no to a transfer. So, but if 49 kids did everything right and they get punished and they get penalized because one mess up that had nothing to do with what those 49 kids did, and they all forfeit and they can't play, that's harsh, man. I don't know. Anyway, I digest. Go ahead, Dan.
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna, I was waiting for you to see if you were to say about the forfeits, which I'm glad you brought up. I wrote in my football blitz this week that I do believe there needs to be some kind of human element into this forfeiture situation, because the computer-generated rankings, they don't factor forfeits. They are not swayed whatsoever in the rankings with the forfeits. It's an admin situation off the field. The computer doesn't know how to handle that, which I understand. But you have, as the Southern Section is committed to this power ranking system and the numbers, I think they have to have a deterrent for the manipulation of the system. If certain people are looking to, and I'm not saying who those people are, but if people are looking to manipulate the numbers and the rankings, where people are diving deep into it, and they're also, doing some other things that they shouldn't be doing, I think there has to be deterrent. It's probably a human element. I think is warranted with all the forfeitures this year. It's been a huge season-long narrative, and it's concerning because, Steve, if you look at the rankings, Bishop Montgomery, they're still ranked on 18th ratings. They played one game. Yeah. They're still 19th in the Southern Section. Now, right. Bishop Montgomery announced its own cancellation of the season, but that should probably give everyone some pause that they're still there after playing one game. All the troubles that they
had. Here's the printout, guys, of all the teams ranked in HS ratings. Bishop Montgomery, and I can't really see it, but they're somewhere in here. So they moved. They're still factored in to where everybody's sitting. They push teams down, push teams up. That's bizarre, man. They don't have a football program.
Right. So that's where the human element is that think of the things that were said and alleged about Bishop Montgomery.
Yeah.
And, but they're still in the rankings.
You can get this at CIF-SS.org too. Anybody wants to see it. It's easily found in the football pages there.
So anyway, we'll see. It's been wild. Some teams even a storied program like Long Beach Poly decided to take its own self out of the playoffs as well. So some people are looking at it differently. Some admins, Bishop Montgomery said, "Hey, we're done with the season." That's how at least it was announced. And Long Beach Poly took itself out of the running as well.
Yeah,
one of the most storied programs in the nation. In Jackrabbits.
How weird is it to not see Long Beach Poly on a bracket sheet this year?
Yeah. So
it's never happened in my 30 whatever years doing this stuff, 35 years.
Yes.
Never seen that.
Those are human elements. Those are human decisions made there. We'll see what happens as far as we know how the proposals have to come. They have to come from the membership of the schools, and we'll see if somebody has it. I also think these proposals probably need to, address this in all sports, just not football.
Yeah. Because basketball's transfer city, it's Transfervania. I just made that up. That's not bad. I got to write that down.
There was a time, and you'll have to remind me. But I
can remember.
Actually, here is a thought. I can give an example as far as a human element in some sports, like one I'm covering right now in water polo.
Yeah.
In water polo, you have to be 500 to apply for an at-large bid. That's not the same in football. So that is, I was going to say there was a time I know in basketball you had to be 500, but I think that rule did change.
Yeah, it was like 11 wins or something like that. There was like a figure, 12 wins or something, and teams would schedule to get there. They want to play, a cupcake here and there to get to the 12 W's if you're in a tough league.
So maybe an example for something that happens, which
I think it all changed, been enrollment based, and oh man,
yeah,
we'll see what happens with all this. Anyway,
all right, well, we
got some good games. It's gonna be some fun football.
Yes, we got the forfeiture talk out of the way, which is good. So to update everybody on the standings, the running competition between your reigning champion Steve Fryer and your guy, Mr. Fryer, has got a 40-16 record overall. He is 24 games over 500. I'm one game behind at 39-17, and I appreciate the people that are pulling for me and tell me at games, and they ask me, "Hey Dan, how you doing?" They're pulling for me, Steve. They want me to beat you, my supporters, and I'm doing my best.
Well, nobody's coming up to me and goes, "All right, man, Steve, I hope you do well." I haven't heard that once, not even once.
I got some supporters out there, which I'm very appreciative.
None.
They're sympathizing.
Not even in my house. Yeah, my daughter calls me on Friday night at like 8:30. "Hey, what's going on, Dad?" Same thing for the last 35 years. Sweets, what's up? All right,
we know where we're at. All right, let's go to Division 5. We're going to start with the exciting games right from the jump. How about Division 5? Orange 6-4 versus Troy 9-1. This game is going to be at Fullerton High School on Friday night. These games all Friday night on October 7th. So Orange at large out of the very competitive Foxtrot League. The Panthers, they just upset previously undefeated Laguna Beach 24-6 last week. Troy, I know you just saw them, Mr. Fryer. They're the Iota League champs. They got the physical ground attack. They just took out El Toro. Now Orange is led by dual threat sophomore quarterback and rising Star Thomas. Troy counting with Ethan Mundit. Who do you got in this one, Steve?
Really like the way Orange has risen up. And, we've been watching this, and I know that you and I both, we do like a top 40 beyond our top 25 vote. We both had Orange in there in recent weeks, have we not? Because we've been watching, and we've been seeing that team get better and better and better. I saw them early on play Huntington Beach. It didn't look good. And but now, man, they beat Laguna Beach pretty darn good. Laguna Beach just beat Dana Hills the week before. Impressed by Orange. But, man, I've seen Troy a couple times. Ethan Munt's a very interesting running back. Let me tell you what interests me about this cat. A lot of high school running backs, when they get the ball, they just go full speed in the hole. They get the handoff at full speed, get that pitch at full speed, take it, turn, go. This guy does his little skipperoos, kind of like Skip, kind of watches, waiting for the hole to develop, watches O-line open up. Good O-line, too. And then he'll see that gap, he'll find that crease, and then he'll accelerate. and he'll get into the backfield, get a couple more yards after guys wrap him up. How does a kid like that? He says, I asked him, how do you do that? Well, I've been playing since I was 6. So is everybody else, dude. But he's like got this weird thing in his head, this instinctive Walter Payton, Gale Sayers thing, Barry Sanders, all those guys, Emmitt Smith, that all you watch those old running back films, I love running backs. And those guys did the same thing. They'd wait and then boom, go. High school kid doing this. Troy and Ethan Munt. He's going to have another big game. Troy's my pick.
Okay. This was a tough game for me to pick. I have a lot of respect for Troy. Their one loss is to La Mirada.
Yeah, by 3 points, I think, 23-20, I think.
Yes, and they have some nice wins, like early season opening win against El Medina. But the Orange win is very interesting in Week 10 because that's a very good undefeated Laguna Beach team from the Foxtrot League. So that's really got me, and I know how balanced, and that passing attack with Star Thomas, and he's a dual threat as well.
He's good.
Played good defense. They've played a very good schedule, and I'm picking Orange to pull the upset against the number 2
cool.
seed. So
I wouldn't put it past the Panthers, man. Panther prize legit. Then they're going to run the bus around the plaza or the circle, whatever you want to call it.
And everybody
goes plaza, but everybody calls it the circle, whatever.
Yes. Look at my football notes this week are led by Orange Panthers and their brotherhood and what they were doing this week. So check out that.
And as you put in your notes, man, it was crowded around that plaza, man, because it was Halloween night.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to a very exciting division on Friday. We're going to be talking a few games in Division 2. All right. So this is going to be Downey at San Juan Hills. Downey 9-1, San Juan Hills 1-9. So why are we talking about this game? I just said San Juan Hills is 9-1. If you haven't heard, that's because the Stallions forfeited 7 victories because of a transfer issue. And they've been heavily in the conversation about, what's the right thing to do with these forfeits, and just what Steve and I were talking about. So San Juan Hills has found itself in the kind of the media storm, or the comment storm, the social media comment storm. There's been a lot of talk about San Juan Hills, and I do wonder, as I wrote in my blitz, hey, is this going to be a distraction this week for the Stallions? So then obviously their personnel is going to be a little bit changed. There's at least a player or two. Somebody's not playing that was playing before. So. Yeah. But San Juan Hills is facing a very good team in Downey. Their one loss is to undefeated Sierra Canyon, which is in Division 1. Sierra Canyon's probably got arguably the best defense, at least statistically, in the southern section. Shut out several teams this season. So no shame for Downey losing to Sierra Canyon. Now, Downey also on their resume has a 21-20 win against Inglewood. That's a nice win. And it's helpful in this matchup because San Juan Hills edged Miracosta, which is a team that Inglewood also beat in a close game. So what I'm saying is that it seems like Downey and San Juan Hills with some of these comparative scores is a good matchup. And, oh, by the way, Downey, their quarterback is Arizona commit, Elite 11 quarterback, Oscar Dios. I have been trying to get some intel on Oscar as far as his health. There's been some mention about him being injured, but he's a senior, top quarterback. Downey hasn't played some close games recently. I think everybody's trying to play this time of year, so I won't be stunned if Oscar Rios is playing in this big playoff game. Who do you got in this one? It's at San Juan Hills, Steve.
Yeah, San Juan Hills 1-9 with a home game. That score, that Sierra Canyon score was 49-7 over Downey. Then Downey came back the next week and beat Hawthorne. They put up 61 points against Hawthorne. So a pretty nice comeback effort there. Here's the thing about San Juan Hills, what I think they're going to be, where they're going to be up here. They're going to be, nobody thinks we should be in the playoffs. We're going to show them we belong. I think they're going to be fired up. They're going to be focused in. San Juan Hills is my pick in this game. I think they're going to be rocking and rolling. The right for the brand thing's going to be all over the place, They're going to have a lot of a good student section there. really good student section. I've seen them at volleyball, great kids. But I really like San Juan Hills to, Three Musketeers, all for one, one for all. San Juan Hills going to get a W against a really good team. Oscar Rios is a dude, like 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, averages 220-something yards a game. Guy's a dude. But I like San Juan Hills. And Timmy Hurd, pretty good quarterback over there too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think that's probably my biggest question, for San Juan Hills is just where they are, mentality wise, emotionally wise and focus wise.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a very good coach in Robert Frith, who's, a very positive, upbeat guy. And I could see him doing some of those things in leading the guys. But I think they've been through a lot, and they're a proud program. They don't like seeing their record the way it is. They don't want to be in the headlines for these kind of reasons.
Sure.
So I do feel like it's a weighty issue on them, and it's tough to go in the playoffs that way. But I think this game, San Juan Hills is still my pick, though I think it's going to be a tough game for them. They might start slow in this one. All right, let's move on. Steve.
By the way, before we go further,
yes,
we always try and look at stat packages to see, okay, did this guy play? This guy played? Did he play or not? If you look at the last game for Downey when they played Dominguez, they won 34-0, but they don't have Oscar Rios stats in there. They don't have any offensive stats in there. Yeah. So maybe they're kind of saying, hey, let's keep everybody guessing about Oscar, So I don't know, but Oscar Rios has played, every game other than this one, as far as my research can tell. But you put up 34 points, maybe your starting quarterback was there. So we're gonna try and check that out.
Well, there's a few of these injuries going on this year. Right now, this time of year, everyone's banged up in football, and the theme is going to continue in this next game in Division II, Steve. So you got Leuzinger 9-1 taking on Crean Lutheran, one of 2 undefeated teams left in Orange County football. The Saints are 10-0, and who else is 10-0, Steve?
The Eagles of Calvary Chapel.
That's right. So for Crean Lutheran, they face a very good team in Leuzinger. The Olympians, they're good. I saw them against Jay Sarah. They lost a narrow game, but it was outstanding. They definitely schedule up and play some tough teams under Coach Jason Miller. They played Santa Margarita non-league, beat the Santa Margarita last year. We just talked about another team they played this year from the Trinity League, Jay Sarah. So speaking of injuries, so running back Journey Tonga, who's a very good running back, hard charging guy, very quick, runs low to the ground. He's been playing a little quarterback recently because their starting quarterback, Russell Saconia, suffered a hand injury against Palos Verdes. So Tonga is can be a very good runner, even as a dual threat. Against Miracosta, he ran for 200 yards. So, but then there's some discussion of maybe, Russell Saconia's status is a little unclear, and it's hard to tell if he's going to play or not. Could he come back? It's unknown. As I try to get some intel before we got on the show today. But on the flip side, what is known is that Crean Lutheran has an outstanding junior quarterback in Caden Jones. I mean, sure. Steve, have you seen these numbers for Caden? 29 touchdowns and nada, not one interception this year. He's got 4 outstanding quarterbacks. He has 4 outstanding receivers to throw to, in Coleman, Booth, Takada, and Ty Johnson. So 4 outstanding receivers. Caden is doing well. They have some balance in their offense with Bay running there. Who do you got in this one? The game is at Crean Lutheran, Division II.
Man, when Ty Johnson, he was a sit-up-here guy, right? He joined that receiving crew. Holy moly, did that open things up. I saw them play Huntington a couple of weeks ago. Huntington Beach came out, I think it was 21-zip or something like that. Brady Evans was hitting Foster. Troy Foster, great dude. Man, I thought, oh my gosh, I picked Crean to win this game. I'm not going to, oh boy, and all of a sudden Crean started going, Caden Jones started hitting the ball, but they kept giving the ball to Carlos Bay, their running back, and their O-line was fantastic. They got a really good defense. I love that kid Carrington coming off the edge. I like Crean Lutheran and winning the game at home, and they play pretty darn good in that little field of theirs over there. parking's terrible, but the field's nice once you get in there. Crean Lutheran, gosh, they're on a roll, Dan. I got to go with the Saints of Crean Lutheran.
Yes, I'm also picking Crean Lutheran this one, but I have a lot of respect for Leuzinger, their mentality.
Sure, gosh.
As a public school trying to grow it. I like that they play up and really challenge themselves. So they won't be too intimidated by, Crean Lutheran. That's got guys like Carrington and Anthony Jones, who just recently re-upped with UCLA and that receiving core. There's a lot of firepower on Crean Lutheran. So I think the Lou will not be intimidated, but I like Crean Lutheran in this game to go to 11-0, best start in school history. All right, yeah. Steve, a couple more good games. Here is a dandy, and there's a lot of interest on this game, and I understand why. How about Division III, Huntington Beach, taking on Edison? So here it is, your Huntington Beach City rivalry. This game's going to be at Huntington Beach High School in Division III, and Edison is the home team. They pretty much play their home games at Huntington Beach High School. They'll be the home team. Huntington Beach faithful will be on the visitor side, but this one is fantastic where the Chargers, reigning state champions, reigning CIF Southern Section champions, they're 5-5 this season. Played a good schedule, of course, as always. But, they were in the Alpha League. They went 0-3, just lost a close one to San Clemente 10-9. Huntington Beach, they're 8-2. They lost early to Tribuco by, I think, 1 point, and now they're pushing it with Brady Edmonds and Troy Foster, maybe the top, quarterback receiver duo in all of Orange County. That's it's maybe statistically you can say that, and how often they work together. Edmonds has got 31 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Troy Foster, 71 receptions, 18 touchdowns. So Huntington Beach, a lot of firepower, 8-2. Edison, somewhat balanced on offense this year. Sam Thompson is a very good junior quarterback. That guy's a winner. He can do it pretty much all for you. He can throw it. He can air it out too. Even if Edison likes to maybe sometimes stay balanced, work that play action. Sam's a really good quarterback who I think's made strides this year. So I'm not dismissing him at all in this matchup. I do wonder about, some of the defense. Edison's been played great defense against San Clemente, gave up some points against Mission Los Al, but that's Mission Los Al. Who do you have in this one, Steve?
Little trivia for you, Dan.
Yes.
I already asked you this. When's the last time Huntington Beach beat Edison?
Yes, your research. So I know the answer to this because you did the research. 2013.
Yeah. In a Southwest division, back when they called it Southwest Pac-5, Southeast and all that, it was 48-6 Edison in the regular season. Playoff time, 28-21, Huntington wins. Fantastic. Then they went on to beat Newport Harbor, another Sunset League team, in the Southwest Division final, just down the street here at my stadium, Angel Stadium. So I got Edison in this game because I think Edison has been the team in that town for a long time. And I think in Huntington's mind, that still may be like kind of a mental block there. So Coach Hatchett, man, he's got to do that thing about they're just another team. We can handle them. We're really good. What Edison needs to do, and is going to really try to do, of course, is to keep Edmonds and Foster off the field. Got to ball control it. Got to run it with the other Sam, and have their defense. They got to double Foster. I've seen teams try to single cover him. Impossible. Can't be done. So you got to double them up. Have a safety ready to roll over all the time. Give him a little bump at the line of scrimmage too. Slow him up. Have a safety. You're gonna have to double the guy. He's a lot of sideline routes with Foster in the games I've seen. Not a whole bunch over the middle stuff, but because he can just blow by dudes, and then he can stop, turn on a dime, little button hook thing, get it, and then turn and go. The guy is really good. So you got to double up that guy. Be ready to tackle him afterward because he's gonna make cornerbacks miss when they try and come back and tackle him. Edison gets the win in this game. Going to be gosh darn close. They're going to have to put up some points because Foster and Edmonds and all those cats will get some points. 21-20, something like that. Edison wins.
All right. I am picking the Oilers to win this game.
Yeah.
I like that, Coach Hatch, he's a first year coach. He's not, as far as I know, he's not a HB local that, he's new. He's got his own fresh perspective, former NFL player. So I think, I'm sure he respects Edison and stuff. I think he's about what the Oilers can do. And I think, I think they have the offense to cause problems to so many people.
Oh, yes.
Brady can, he has the arm to deliver those passes that you're talking about, those routes.
Yeah.
To Foster, and they have other receivers. I've been asking Coach Hatch about one of the guys is Dylan Bruce, is a transfer from Long Beach Poly,
Very good.
Who was a sit out guy. I believe that he's kind of been battling some injuries, but he's okay. Obviously
better than okay.
Yeah, I mean health wise.
Yeah, I got you. I follow.
Steel Kurtz is also can be a target, but I think Huntington's going to have to play some good defense, and they can ball control it a little bit with their offense too. They, I thought Coach Hatch has been interesting about we gotta not take the home run shots all the time, and we have to drive the ball, take possessions and take what the defense gives us, so they can stay on the field for a long time, especially with Brady not making mistakes. And but I think this is a great game. I think it should be a packed stadium at Huntington Beach High School and Shoe Field. So I think that's a great game. And this is the one you are covering, Steve.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to being there. I love that stadium, man. It's great.
Yes, sir. All right. Hopefully a good sunset for you. All right. Here's the game of the week, in my opinion. Friday, also in Division II, Yorba taking on Los Alamitos. This game is going to be at Veteran Stadium in Long Beach. So I believe Yorba with a forfeit win against, with over San Juan Hills is 9-1, and they're taking on 8-2 Los Alamitos. So Los Al, man, wow. Did you see their score last week against, top ranked Mission Viejo? They lost 76-49, and all those updates that I was following from our colleague David Delgado, and man, Los Al was up and scoring all those.
Yeah, like 49-48 or something.
Yeah, they got, Griffins got outscored 28-0 in the fourth quarter. But man, that was a fantastic game. And I was wondering are the Griffins going to pull it off? Because they just lost the previous week against San Clemente. I think it was 28-9. They only scored 9 points in week 9 against San Clemente. And then, but like what happens, good teams, when they suffer their first loss, they can improve very quickly.
Yeah.
And Griffins obviously made some, big improvements on offense to score all those points, had some questions on defense, but Yorba, they're coming off their own impressive performance in week 10. Steve, you saw that they beat previous undefeated Corona Del Mar.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of respect for, like a lot of people do from Coach Bailey. I think he's one of the best coaches in Orange County. It's hard to go against him in a top spot, but Los Al's got a special group this year with Coach Fenton doing a great job. I know Yorba defense is good. They got a good secondary, good linebackers. They got some two-way guys.
Thomas Knutson over there, man. That guy's a player.
Yeah, in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder about, how well Yorba can run the ball. How well can they pound it? Because I think Los Al's got a good defense as well. They have a large offensive line. They play at some pace. I basically picked this as the game of the week because I think a lot of people will say, hey, Los Al's going to roll. And I would say, hey, not so fast. You got to give respect to Yorba. And, they could turn loose that ground attack and make it very tough on people. And then they have the secondary. If they can stop the run and match up physically, they could pull this one out. They'll play fundamentally sound. Both these teams have the ability to play pretty clean. I've seen Los Al play pretty clean against Edison. That's one thing that Los Al has done this year is they improved their discipline, and their penalties are way down as far as what I could tell.
Right.
When I saw them against Edison. Who do you have in this one, Steve?
I saw that Yorba win over CDM last week. And
yes.
Yorba in the fourth quarter and the second half, their offensive line took over that football game. I was totally impressed by the way they just they just willed themselves into it, and it was an emotional win for those guys. Really like that Yorba squad. A lot of character over there. I think that talent that Los Alamitos is going to win this game for them. There's just too much talent going over there. Lenny Ibarra, the guy does everything. He was their best player again against Mission Viejo, scored 3 or 4 touchdowns, does everything for them, had a couple tackles as well. I like Los Al in this game. I remember when we talked off camera last week about the Los Al Mission game, and we both picked Mission to win. But I remember saying to you, I think that that loss to San Clemente is a weird aberration. And I think the real Los Al will come back again and be ready to go against Mission Viejo. And for 3 quarters they were, I was looking at that score, going, my gosh, I was, my senses were good, that we were seeing the real Los Al again in that game. But then Mission Viejo, did they even punt in that game? I mean, you score 76 points.
Oh, man.
That's 9 times 7, something like that, with 10 times 7, 11 times 7. What is that? That's a bunch of touchdowns.
10 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't think they punted in that game. So that was just a Mission Viejo just rolling thing going on there. We'll see how that goes against Mission Viejo Mater Dei in a couple of weeks. Los Al, is my pick, man.
Yeah, and Mission Viejo defensively, they were missing some guys in that game. I don't believe Jerron Jones, the cornerback, played, and J.D. Hill got banged up early in that game. So that was Los Al facing some, depleted team, but still loaded, still a very strong Mission Viejo team. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Griffins. No, I'm also picking Los Al, but I think this would be a great game. I won't be stunned if Yorba wins, but not
after what I saw last week. I wouldn't put it past those dudes to make me look stupid again.
All right,
I picked one in the bar last week, and I think I fired them up a little bit, which is what we do.
That's right, we do.
Yeah, we like it.
Just last week, I was saying never count out. I put out a tweet saying, "Hey, don't never count out Coach Bailey." Here I am the next week. I'm picking up against Yorba, but it was a tough one. I definitely think I gave Yorba its due consideration, but I'm picking the Griffins to win this one.
And what? Bailey, Yorba right now is going. He picked us to lose again.
That's right. So
love that guy. Bailey's one of the best.
That's right.
They have titles at a couple different schools.
What's that?
He's won titles at El Dorado and at Yorba, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And, Coach Fenton has a CIF title at Cypress. Maybe he's trying to add one at Los Al this year.
That's a tough field he's in. That's a tough field. That Division II is pretty rough.
I do like the winner of this game to. I like their pathway to this to the semifinals because I will say I think the winner of this game can beat either
San Juan Hills,
San Juan Hills. Los Al, San Juan Hills. I think Los Al could beat San Juan Hills. We know San Juan Hills has defeated Yorba earlier this year, but in the rematch I might take Yorba in that one. But and that would put this team in the winner of this into the semis, and the team to watch out there. I think Myriad Valley is very, very good, even though they did have they did get a little upset in one of their league games. But you do wonder about the run that Tustin could make at the top of this bracket too. So a couple teams out there, but I think Yorba, Los Al, watch out. Yorba has to feel good about themselves too. I mean, they played Tustin pretty good earlier this year.
They did.
They lost 21-7.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I think Myriad Valley is very good, very physical, but they have been upset in league. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's D2 is very exciting. I'm glad we're talking about a lot of these games, and we disagree on a couple, Steve. So that's good.
Yeah, and then the team my son coaches, St. Augustine, they play Grossmont, and they'll be at home. So I'm hoping that the Saints of St. Augustine get to the second round.
Are they your pick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have intel on that. I have inside intel.
Okay, awesome. We've got some San Diego section. I'm going to be checking that score out now as well, so we can wish Sean Fryer good luck in his game.
Yep. Yeah, his O-line, he likes his group.
Awesome. So for Steve Fryer, I'm Dan Albano. Good luck to everybody in the first round of the Southern Section playoffs.